The Mega Beak, no teams, just truth, and we have breaking news.
Kaylee, I just got off the phone with President Trump. We have a big scoop. Pam Bondi will soon leave her job as the Attorney General. She is going to get a different job within the administration. It doesn't sound like there is any bad blood between her and President Trump, but it does seem like they want her to go and do something else. And in an interim role, she will be replaced by Todd Blanche, who is currently her deputy at the Justice Department.
The Washington rumor mill is going bananas. I've heard 3 different reasons as to why Pam Bondi's been fired. One of them, if true, is mega serious, and we're going to get into that one in just a minute, but let's go through the other 2 first. Check this out. Pam, I've reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially the same old story as last time. All talk, no action. Nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing's being done. The implied justification for this reasoning is that the president wants a politicized Department of Justice, someone that's going to go after Comey, Letitia James, all the actors that put him through hell when he was running for president. And in all fairness, Pam Bondi did try. She did try to prosecute Comey. She did try to prosecute James, but she failed on all counts. Some were saying that just wasn't enough and the president just wasn't happy. Now, the second reason comes down to one person's name, and this person really defined Pam Bondi's entire term in office, and that person is Jeffrey Epstein. And it's really her own doing. Literally, about a week after being in office, she went on TV and said this.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
Sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, we'll check back with you.
The mega problem I was telling you about is coming up, but on this one, she did it to herself. She basically claims she had the elusive Epstein client list sitting on her desk. Now, shortly afterwards, Congress passed a bill demanding that all Epstein files had to be released. She slow-walked the Epstein file release, and lo and behold, the elusive client list never came out. She then had to go to Congress and testify about this, and here's what happened.
The most transparent president in the nation's history.
And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
No, I did tell you because we saw what you did in the Senate.
A lawyer, not even a lawyer. Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
Red-handed. There was one redaction out of over 4,700, and we invited you in. This guy has Trump derangement syndrome.
These congressional hearings are always politicized. They're always partisan. Nothing ever really gets done. On this one, she was taking it from both sides. It really wasn't a good look the way she was handling it. There was another hearing coming up in just a few weeks. And the Epstein case, as much as she's tried to bury it, has not gone away. She's still been slow-walking documents. And rumor has it that the president really didn't want her to attend that. Now we're going to get into that mega reason I was telling you about. If you haven't done so already, now's the perfect time to hit that subscribe button. No teams, just truth. We'd really appreciate it. Now let's get into that mega reason. All right, here it is. You're going to hear about someone called Fang Fang. And if you don't know what that means, just bear with me. I'll explain everything in just a second.
One question that's being circulated right now is whether or not Pam Bondi tipped off Eric Swalwell about those Fang Fang files that are coming his way. The president's not too happy that somehow Eric Swalwell found out that the Fang Fang stuff was going to be hitting him hard. Not too happy. And so the Daily Mail is reporting right now, Pam Bondi was fired in part because President Trump believes she had tipped off Eric Swalwell, according to the Daily Mail. Trump reportedly believes Bondi had tipped off Swalwell about the FBI's effort to share investigative documents about his relationship with the alleged Chinese spy named Christine Fang Fang.
Congressman Swalwell from California. Now, a lot of bad blood between him and the president. They've been going at it for about 10 years. Back in 2015, Congressman Swalwell allegedly got caught having an affair with a lady named Fang Fang. Here's a little more on that.
The burgeoning scandal involving Congressman Eric Swalwell and a honey trap that is a suspected Chinese spy who used her charms to get close to the congressman and various other elected officials is probably just the beginning of what could be a huge story involving Beijing's espionage efforts here in the United States. Former CIA officer Dan Hoffman says there are likely thousands of operations like the one that targeted Swalwell and the horny Midwestern mayors.
Now, again, just rumors, but if true, you could see how this is majorly problematic for Pam Bondi. And I'm going to give Congressman Swalwell an opportunity to defend himself in just a minute. But why does the Trump administration want to go after him so badly? This is why.
Judiciary, do you believe the president right now has been an agent of the Russians?
Yes, I think there's more evidence than he is. Yes, and I think all the arrows point in that direction. And I haven't seen a single piece of evidence that he's not.
An agent like in the 1940s where we had people who are Reds, to use an old term, like that. In other words, working for a foreign power.
He's working on behalf of the Russians, yeah.
Okay.
The question has shifted from whether the president is working with the Russians to what evidence exists that the president is not working with the Russians.
At what point do you draw the line and not accuse the president of the United States without any evidence of being an agent of Russia?
Yeah, he's betrayed our country, and I don't say that lightly. I worked as a prosecutor for 7 years, and
Betraying the country, by the way, we want evidence before you say that, but you said an agent of Russia.
Yeah, he works on their behalf.
Still not hearing the evidence that he's an agent of Russia.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. It's almost hiding in plain sight.
So your typical partisan hackery, instead of making America a better place, they're all whipping up conspiracies. And I'm not just picking on him. They're all doing the same, including the president's administration. I mean, what are they doing wasting time going after this guy right now? I could see another contender for governor slinging mud at Eric Swalwell and back and forth because they're in a race together. But the president's administration doing this is also a pretty low bar. But let's give Eric Swalwell an opportunity to defend himself. Here he is.
Reporting that part of the reason Bondi was fired is that Trump suspects that Bondi leaked some information to you about an effort by the administration to release files from a 10-year-old closed investigation into your relationship with an alleged Chinese spy. Did Bondi or anyone in her orbit leak information to you, Congressman?
No, the Attorney General did not tip us off. No one in her orbit tipped us off. It was FBI agents who tipped off the Washington Post because they saw this effort by Kash Patel and Donald Trump to try and interfere in a California governor's race that I have been leading. And so, what this shows, though, and what is quite concerning, is that Donald Trump is seeing ghosts. He's certainly gunning for us, and he wants an attorney general who's willing to break the law and weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies.
Swalwell says didn't happen. What about the Trump team?
Yeah, I like Pam Bondi too, but she didn't give Swalwell a heads up on the Fang Fang files, did she?
I would not believe that for a second. Okay. Absolutely, positively not.
Okay. The president reportedly, probably obviously frustrated that the cases against Tisch and Schiff and Brennan and Comey not really going anywhere. Are you the guy that's going to be able to get that done?
Look, I think the president is frustrated. Everybody is frustrated because what we saw happen for the past 4 years is unforgivable and can never happen again.
So a double no on the Bondi rumors, and that wasn't a no on future political investigations, and round we go. Calling out Tucker Carlson, hit that subscribe button. No teams, just truth. Peace.